Welcome back to Minecraft Survival Let's Play Season 1 Episode 4, and we are headed... Ooh, it's a black cat. Oh, it's a black and white cat. That's nice. We are headed... That's interesting. That must be a glitch. We are headed up the mountain savanna over here to make a mine entrance. And we aren't going to go very far up. I just don't want to be in the village. Now, is this one we're going to probably take to white or clear down to diamond level? Probably not. Right now, we're just looking for a good place to start finding some iron ore, because we really need some iron before we can move forward with much of anything else in the game. It's sort of a necessity. We have a big gaping pit over here, but and it lets us do some more exploring at the same time, so and this savanna just seems to go on and on. So go on over here. This is as good of a place as any. There's some coal off the top, but I'm not really looking for coal. And head on down. Backtrack a couple of steps and see at which point did we reach the light level of 0. We're back at light level 0. Okay. We'll go forward a few steps here. So we are standing on Y level 80 at the moment, so I am just going to do some branches and see if we can't get lucky and find some iron. Hello everyone, this is Amethyst 64 editing. And throughout this episode, you're going to see a couple of our very first time lapses. Some of them are going to be more sped up than others. This was a very long mining session, and we ended up going through several different levels and finding quite a lot of stuff, which you will see at the end of the video. But throughout this, I will be switching between my original recording and the editing after voice recording to add in a couple of different things to the episode and a little bit of new information. Thank you. Let's get back to the main edit. Okay, so come to find out, Y80 is actually where iron ore starts to appear again in the higher chunks for mountain regions. So I actually need to drop about 14 levels down to Y64, with Y16 being one of the best levels for iron ore. Editing amethyst here, and let's go back to some of that ore distribution talk real quick. So prior to the 1.18 release, ores were found in certain layers. Coal you could find coal and mainly iron you could find throughout the board, with iron only starting at Y64 and lower, but coal being throughout all of the chunks as high up as you could go. With the 1.18 released, with the expanded world borders going up and down, that has changed. So coal now is more likely to be found in the higher mountainous chunks above Y28. Below that, it can go as far down as Y0, but it has reduced air exposure. And what that means is if that block, when the world spawns in and it is doing all of that block placement, if it sees that that block is exposed to air, it will have a higher chance of skipping that block placement, of making it just a regular stone or gravel or whatever it was supposed to be in the first place, instead of an ore block. So, and that for coal would be between Y184 and Y0. Now, and that is where ore placement gets really complicated, because diamond, that is 100% between Y16 and Y-64, which is the only place you can find diamond, with the most common occurrence being the lower you are, as usual. Now, iron, of course, has a higher exposure rate it has a limited exposure rate at least between Y72 and Y-64. With larger larger iron ore veins happening below Y0, and larger copper veins happening above that between those levels. But iron also has a greater chance of veins, a dripstone cave, between Y80 and up to the new world limit, with the highest chance being in around 232, 240. But it also has a chance down below between Y56 and Y-32, with the greatest being Y16. And that is the same for most of the other ores as well. Gold having a chance between Y12 and Y negative 16. Copper having a chance, that's copper. Gold having a chance between Y24 and Y negative 64, unless you are in the Badlands, and then there is always a chance between Y32 and Y256. Emerald in mountain regions, of course, negative 16, clear up to 256, with, of course, 256 being the close to the pinnacle of that triangle there. Copper would be negative 16, clear up to Y112, with the exclusion of dripstone caves, where of course it is even more, shouldn't say exclusion, with the increased rate of occurring in dripstone caves like we're in right now, more than doubling that opportunity to get copper. And with redstone being anywhere from about Y12 clear down to Y negative 64. Lapis Lazuli is found between Y64 and Y negative 64, with no air exposure but a greater occurrence between Y32 and Y negative 32. And of course, diamond level is 16 to negative 64, with our regular gold only being exposed from Y64 to negative 56 at having an absolute chance of a gold chunk spawning despite air exposure. So it does make the game a little bit more complicated, but I think it's going to make the game more fun, because as you can see, we've got a lot more room to expand and grow, and a lot more room to go ahead and explore. I am excited about all the new caves. As you can see, we have found a dripstone cave. I am not exploring it quite yet because, again, you can see how it's all flooded. And water is a bit more dangerous to explore now, especially in those types of dripstone caves, because magma blocks do spawn quite often in those caves. And if you are not careful, they will pull you straight down, and that is a Lapis Lazuli block. That is the first one of that I've seen. And the reason I keep putting the F3 screen on and off is because certain ore blocks can only be excavated with certain tool levels. So a wooden pickaxe can only do stone and that kind of thing. I believe you need a stone pickaxe for coal. You might be able to be farmed with a wood pickaxe, but I believe you have to have stone. You have to have stone for copper. You have to have stone for iron. It seems like you do not need that, and I was checking, you don't need stone for a lapis block. You do need an iron pickaxe for redstone. Gold, iron, be more advanced. And then, of course, you need a diamond pickaxe for obsidian. And you need, and that is the height. At this point, we are hoping in future releases that we will get some more ores, hopefully. But as of right now, that is the farthest that is required for pickaxe requirements. Interesting fact, however, despite the beacon needing obsidian to go into it, you don't actually need an obsidian pickaxe to mine it. Fun fact. Okay, moving on. So, in some of these timey lapses, I'm going to work on introducing some shower thoughts for everyone to hear. What are shower thoughts? Shower thoughts are miniature epiphanies that you have that highlights the oddities of the world. And that is usually what I'm going to use these timey lapses for. So, first shower thought of the day would be, it is impossible to do nothing because doing nothing is still doing something. Kind of interesting when you put it that way. Any number multiplied by 2 ends by an even number. There are people who consider gravity evil. I don't know how that would work. Immortality is a synonym of impossible. Pretty much. Shadows don't exist on the sun. It's actually kind of interesting. And we are actually done with the main portion of our mining adventure for the day. So let's go see what all we have ended up with. A ton of stone, a stack and a half of iron, which is pretty cool, and a ton of other stuff. So, as you can see, it is going to take us 2 trips to actually make it back to our base. So I am going to cut us out here, and I will be back to show you what all we actually ended up with here shortly. Back home sweet home. So let's go ahead and drop off all of this cobblestone first, because we've got almost 2 full rows of stacks. We've got 22 raw copper blocks. We're gonna go ahead and collect some of these other things real quick, because I'm gonna move them to the other chest. Sort the chest real quick. And that is a mod. We've got 6 free pieces of copper, 57 lapis lazuli, and a stack and a half almost of raw iron. So we made out pretty well. Now I'm gonna go get some fish and we're gonna work on something else. And we are back with some raw cod. And this cat has been hanging around my house for a while now. And my goal is to try and tame it. So let's see if this will work. I can get 3. Oh, awesome. It only took 2. And we've got the advancement made best friends forever. That is awesome. Go ahead and put the rest of that stuff up further into my inventory. Make him follow us. And let's see if we can get him into our house. And after that, that is going to be it for our episode today. I managed to make it a little bit shorter by cutting out a whole bunch of extra things. But I like catching fish off screen and that kind of thing. So thank you for watching today's episode, and I will see you in the next one. Oh, and leave a comment on today's episode of what you think we should name our cat. Thank you for watching, and have a great Minecraft day.